Hi, I'm the Librarian, and today I'm going to look at M.R. Carey's The Girl with All the Gifts. The book follows 10-year-old Melanie who lives in a cell deep underground, but that's okay because she's smart, really smart, and in fact she loves nothing more than learning new things at school. I mean, yeah, the school's underground as well, which is a bit odd, and she's only allowed to be in there once she's securely strapped inside a wheelchair, but that's okay for her as well because as far as Melanie knows, that's normal. In fact, that's all she knows. That is until Melanie's life is turned upside down. She's left with no choice but to leave her cell, leave the wheelchair and its straps behind, and then venture above ground for the first time. And before you all start complaining that was a pretty crap and vague synopsis, if you take a look at the back of the book, it's actually really indistinct and doesn't really give much away anyway, so I'm not going to. Anyway, what are my thoughts on this book? Well, to be honest, it's a book that anyone who's ever lived can really get, and I don't just mean borrowing it from your local library. This book is all about Melanie having to experience and deal with everything in her life for the first time. She doesn't know anything. She's never seen clouds. She's never seen sky. She's seen pictures in school, but she's never actually seen it with her own eyes. And everyone who's ever lived, no matter what it is they do, at some point had to do that for the first ever time. I know, the first time you ever saw a dog, first time you wiped your own arse, first time you tried alcohol, if you can remember it. That first time that you saw that person you like smile at you, so then you smile back at them, and then they're not sure if that means that you like them or if you're just being polite, so they smile back at you, and then you're not sure if they're being polite, so you smile back, and you end up getting into a non-stop grinning loop, and that's basically your day wasted then. We all have our first times. For the minute we plop out, it's new, new, new. Sure, as you get older, it lessens out a little bit because you get used to doing everything. But if you still seek something out, you can try it for the first time. If you're 50 and you've never bungee jumped, you can bungee jump, that's your first time. For example, I recently started up my own creative writing group. Well, I didn't want to, but a customer at work kept nagging me to do it because she was sick of her own one. So then I said, okay, I'll have a look at it. I put the message out to people I knew, expecting no one to bother. Then about 7 or 8 of them said they were really interested, and now I have to run that once a month, and I have to devote time to writing more things, and I can't be asked, so fuck you all. Being social sucks. Another example is that I recently tried driving a car for the first time, and I did not like it. I am sure that I ran over several children and a cat despite the road being completely empty. But hey, give me a break, it was my first time. Oh, by the way, that's my first time at driving a car, not at killing youths and felines. Not that I've ever done that before. Forget it. Even everyday dull activities can become thrilling and exciting the first time you ever do them. I mean, I remember when I was 12 years old and my local hometown, your hometown is local. I remember when I was 12, my hometown got its first ever music shop, and I spent literally hours in there trying to find the best CDs to buy, and I fucking loved it. I mean, that was the first time I was going to use my own money to buy CDs myself. I mean, sure, I'd been given CDs for Christmases and birthdays, and sometimes I even got ones that I'd asked for. So, you know, it kind of is the same. But this time, for the first time ever, I was holding them in my hands, looking at the album art, reading all the details, going up to the counter and paying for them myself. Me, I was being the grown-up. I had the power. Fuck he, man. Good God, was that a sad thing to get excited about. I mean, buying CDs. I now own hundreds of the bloody things. And now I don't get all excited when I buy them. I don't go up to the till squealing like a little schoolgirl. I mean, for me now, the excitement comes from listening to some new songs by a band you really like, or from discovering something new. I mean, the list of first times just goes on and on. I mean, what about your first time? You know, your very first time. You know the one I'm talking about. Actually, I'm not going to talk about that. I mean, I'm all for sharing, but there are limits. Alright, instead of doing the first time, how about first kiss? And I'm not talking about the first album, we're past the music part, come on, keep up. I'm talking about the first time you kiss someone, that first perfect moment shared between two people who had affection for each other. Actually, I don't want to talk about that either. I mean, a true librarian never kisses and tells. Let's just say some school sleepovers weren't just for doing homework and playing Final Fantasy VII. This is actually quite a lot harder than I thought. I'm not going to go into first time, I'm not going to go into details about first kiss. What's left? I know, first love. Now, I'm not talking about when you were younger and you felt some strange yet pleasant feelings when you were watching the Power Rangers fighting each other in skin-tight suits. I like the red one. I'm talking about the time when your heart actually skipped a beat for the first time. It's magical and unforgettable. Take me, for example. My first love was, and always will be, chocolate. Oh, I love the stuff. Oh, it's an Anglo-Librarian fact that the librarians are never biased, so, you know, I love the stuff. From the very first bite, I knew that my life had been completed. I'm never going to forget my first encounter with the silky smoothness and melt-in-the-mouth taste of that nectar from the gods. And not just because it was my first love, and that my love for the chocolate knows no bounds, but because my mum snapped a photo. I mean, just look at that. Isn't it magnificent? I mean, what a great couple we make. Oh, I love you so much. And God, you're sexy. You've always been there for me. Oh, I can't wait to pull your wrapper open. And actually, I'm feeling a little bit peckish right now. Shall we just, yeah. Right, I'm gonna end this now because, I've got to go, do stuff. See ya. Oh, by the way, for those of you wondering which CDs I ended up choosing when I was 12, I ended up going for Defence of the Faith by Judas Priest, AC/DC's Back in Black, and Cosmic Thing by the B-52s. What can I say? I was a bit weird as a kid.